Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Freedom Fridays. I'm so excited to have you here. This is going to be a lovely, lovely time. So here's what we do every week on Freedom Fridays. We come together to celebrate our week, the wins from our week, and wind down for the weekend, scheduling rest and fun. Because we know that if we don't do it, if we don't put intentionality behind it, then it's going to be really, really easy to just keep doing the next best thing, doing the next best thing, doing the next best thing. And that ends up amounting to burnout. And I'm all about helping you get out of burnout and really live a life like that you really want, the one that you enjoy, one that you want to get excited to live. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Make sure you say hello in the chat. We are streaming in a couple different locations today. Forgive me if I watch this as I'm doing this because this is the first time I'm doing it like this in a while. But I'm glad to have you here. So, um, as the first thing that I want to tell you, as we're going through this, I have a couple worksheets and things that you are welcome to download that's going to help you do this whole process of winding down for the weekend. So, if you would like to get that worksheet completely free, let me go ahead and share that on the screen so you can see it. So, this is called the Transform Your Schedule worksheet. It's all about helping you really prioritize rest and fun, about being intentional about the rest and fun that you want to have in your week, and actually learning how to schedule it. It's the companion to what we do here on Freedom Fridays. You can download it for free at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. I am going to go ahead and put that in the chat, and I'm going to pray that it posts to all the different locations so that you are able to download it. So I'm getting this link right now. Also, if you're viewing on the screen, nope, you're not going to be able to see that on the screen, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and drop it there. So hopefully that posts in the chat everywhere. And then let me see. What else did I want to share with you before we jump in? The first thing we're going to do today is we are going to celebrate wins from our week. So I want you to start thinking about that. What are three wins from this week that you can celebrate? Because listen, you deserve to be celebrated, and I can assure you, you're not doing it enough. I promise you. All of my clients that I work with, when we're in sessions, we're in calls, they're like, oh, I did this thing. And I'm like, wait, did we celebrate that? And they're like, oh, I forgot. So if you, I'm sure that's you. So that's why I want you to take a second and think about what happened this week. What are you celebrating from the things that you finished? And even if you haven't finished everything, that's okay. We're still celebrating the things that have been finished along the way. Because you've been working hard. You deserve to be patted on the back for that. Okay. So take a second to do that. All right. While you are thinking about what your wins are, let me go ahead and share mine. And then as you share them in the chat, I would love to celebrate you. So make sure that you post them in the chat so that I can shout them out while you're sharing them. Okay. So my first one for the week, I started my transition back from the West Coast to the East Coast. I drove on Sunday from LA all the way to Tijeras, New Mexico. It was a full, 12-hour drive, but it was a really good drive. It went really well, nothing too crazy. I listened to a couple books. I'm such a nerd. I had a ball. So I'm glad that I got that drive done. And while I was there, I hung out with the cutest. I did a house sit. For anybody who doesn't know, house sitting is one of the ways that I love to travel the world without having to pay for accommodations as I go. So I did a house sit where it was this beautiful, I don't know, what kind of, I want to say a adobo house. That's the word I'm looking for. Had a rooftop terrace. The weather was nice. The dog that I took care of, she was super sweet. Her name was Zia. and we hung out during the trip. Um, she was pretty easy, except that Zia is extremely skitsy. She's like, just leave me alone and I'm fine until she gets used to you, and then she wants to be on you like white on rice. So that was an interesting part of that house sit. But again, super super great. Um, so then I left that house sit and I was driving. I've been reading this book. So that was my second one. That the house sit was easy, pretty good. The house was nice, everything was comfortable, super good. Um, my third win, I've been reading this book, or I've read it now for the second time, The Alchemist. And it was written by a Brazilian man. I'm going to say his last name wrong, but it was Paulo. Yeah, I'm gonna say his last name wrong because I don't have it written in front of me. But I have been enjoying that book so much. One of the things that it talks about is as you're on this journey of doing all the things, like make sure you take a second to notice the omens because they are leading you in the right direction, especially if you're going after your personal legend. That's what they call it. And I was having one of those omen moments this week. And at first, I didn't listen to it. I was like, it was like, hey, message your friend in Dallas, and like hang out, like stop and spend time. And I was like, oh, my heart was like, stop. My mind was like, but it's not going to interrupt your life. This is last minute. I probably should have planned this sooner. I made all of these excuses, and so I convinced myself not to do it. Well, that was Sunday. And then on Thursday, when I was leaving, I was looking for a gas station and I saw the town Denton, Texas. And I was like, that's a second very blatant omen. Like, this is telling me to stop and see my friend. So I get I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and message her. I I message her and she's like, yes, we can. You can absolutely please stop by. I would love to see you. It's been a while. So I stopped there last night. I'm so glad I did. We hung out. It has been like almost a decade. No, it wasn't that long since I've seen her, but it had been a while since we had a chance to like hang out. So it was so nice to be able to just get together with her, catch up, her and her roommate, have a good time. And then I'm getting back on the road this morning. So I drove about an hour and then I stopped for Freedom Fridays and then I'll drive the rest of the way, stop in Monroe, Louisiana. So my road trip back has been really good so far. All of my wins are around that, and also I did have a really good productive couple days in New Mexico for the work that I was doing while I was there. The beauty of being a digital nomad is that you can work and live any and everywhere, and it's one of the things that when I was thinking about what I wanted my soft life to look like, it was a huge part of what I wanted to see happen. So I'm always blessed, and I stop in and celebrate those blessings when I get to live that life that I actually dream for myself. So those are my wins for this week. If you have any wins, I would love for you to share them in the chat. I would love to celebrate them with you. I would love to celebrate you in the midst of them because, like I said, you have been doing more work than I'm sure you've given yourself credit for. And I don't want to skip over that. I want to stop. If you don't want to stop and celebrate you, I want to pause and celebrate you. And that's why I make it so important and I harp on it to do this every single week. So I hope that you can forgive me, but and actually like join in with me and celebrate yourself because you deserve it. You sincerely deserve it. Okay. So the next part of what we're going to do is as one of the questions that I always get as a lifestyle coach that is helping people shift out of burnout into this place of not just rest, but living a life of rest, having rest on a regular basis, like not getting back into burnout. the question is always, well, how much rest do I need? And that's not a question that I can answer for you. That's a personal question that you have to answer for yourself. And we go really deep into that when you work with me as your lifestyle coach. But if but today, like as we're setting ourselves up to prioritize rest and fun for next week, I do have a trick that's going to help you figure out how you do that in the short term. So when you work with me as a coach, I will help you figure out a long-term solution that's extremely personalized and specific to you. But for today, setting this up for next week, we're going to actually answer that question together. And the way that we do that is we are going to do a body scan that allows you to check in with your body. How much rest do you need? Like I said, is that personal answer. And so the way to figure that out, you don't use your mind to do that because your mind is always going to bring up your fears, your scarcity mindset, your guilt, any of those other things that are shaming you, hustle culture, anything that's shaming you into doing more work or to working harder. Your mind is going to always say those things. So instead, I want you to check in with your body. Ask your body, like, hey, body, recognizing um, the physical part of you, but also the emotional, the mental, the relational, like all of these different parts of you. We're going to walk through a body scan for you to connect back to that and ask yourself, what kind of rest do I actually need? And then from that, you're going to use that rest intention in the next step. Okay. So that being said, I gave you a preface of what we're about to do. We're about to do this check in with your body for you to get an idea of how much rest you need, and then I'll tell you your next steps. So the way let's start with that body scan. I want you to get in a comfortable seat where you can kind of relax, where you don't have to like hold yourself too much, but as comfortable as possible. I mean, I'm in a Starbucks since I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, I'm doing what I can with what I got. So to whatever comfortable looks like for you right now. And then I want you to choose to close your eyes, put one hand on your belly and another one on your chest. And then I want you to listen to the words that I'm saying for you to take action as we go. We're going to do this together. So as we're starting, I want you to really put deep in your mind, asking yourself this question: what kind of rest do I need for next week? What kind of rest do I need for next week? I want you to think a little bit about what you have coming up, a little bit of how you've processed and felt this past week. Have you felt rested? Have you felt tired? Is there more that you need to catch up? I want you to take assessment of those two perspectives. And then I want you to ask yourself this question as we scan down your body. So starting at the top of your head, I want you to imagine a laser that's emitting warmth scanning down over your head. So it starts at the top of your head and then down over your forehead, over your eyes, over your nose, over your mouth, over your chin, down your neck, across your shoulders, over your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your hands, all the way down to your fingertips, but then down your chest, over your belly, over your hips. And remember, you're asking, what kind of rest do I need in this coming week? Okay. If you, as it, the laser goes over your hips, over your knees. Oh, excuse me, your thighs, and then your knees, and then your calves, down your ankles, over your feet, and all the way to the tips of your toes. You're asking your body, what kind of rest do I need? And you're taking a stop and listening to what your body is saying. So now for 3 breaths, I'm going to give you the space to just listen without my voice in the background. Deep breath in. Oh, that feels so good. As you take a second to really take into account what your body is saying to you, I would love for you to share in the chat, but you can also open your eyes and get comfortable. Um, And I'm going to share what mine has been saying. I've been in this really beautiful space where I've been doing a lot of emotional decluttering around um, my resources, because our time, money, and energy, those are the things that make us always feel like we don't have enough time, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough energy. But when you feel like that, it's almost like always saying, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. So we always have those affirmations that say, I'm enough. But then we don't actually believe it, because all of our resources we feel like are never enough. And so I've been doing emotional decluttering, meaning I've been taking a stock of a list of the things that make me feel like I don't have enough time, like I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy, and um, doing some processing and emotional decluttering around that. So emotional decluttering looks like taking some time to release that. And man, let me tell you, it's been so good for me. I'm feeling I've already done so much work around this, but this is my helping me more deeply integrate the rest that I feel, not just in changing my schedule, but also changing the way that I interact with my resources and my mindset around being enough. I'm super grounded in the fact that I'm enough, and that's felt so good. So when I ask my body, what do I need for rest coming into this next week? Excuse me. My body was saying, hey, like, you've actually been doing a lot of great work. When things are coming up in ways where you're feeling scarcity, you've been processing it. So keep doing that. And also being present in where you are today. So as I'm driving back, I've been stopping to see friends. I'm going to be spending the next 2 weeks in Atlanta with my brother. I'm excited to be present with them and enjoy their company. And that's just a really beautiful place to be. And it all starts with releasing that scarcity mindset. So I'm excited to be sharing more and more about that specific part of my journey in my paid newsletter that's coming out in November. So if you're interested, make sure that you get on my free newsletter, and you can always upgrade. But I'm going to be sharing more of the behind the scenes worksheets, the how tos that way, um, because it's a lot of work, and so it's good work, and I want to make sure you're getting the depth that you need from it. So yeah, make sure you check that out. You can get on my newsletter if you download the worksheet that puts you on my newsletter as well. But if you are looking for a direct way to get on my newsletter, you could go to bio.yourdreamstrategist.com, and there is a button there. Um, I want to say it's maybe the fourth or fifth button down for you to go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. Okay, so we have taken some time to celebrate our wins. We have taken some time to do a body scan and ask our body, what kind of rest do we need for next week? And my body's telling me to continue my emotional decluttering. And so, what I'm going to do with that next, I put that information, I put that my rest intention in my planner. So I use mine on my iPad, and I want you to see how I do this. So this is mine from last week. I have a digital worksheet that I use. There's a box that says, "What's your rest intention for the week?" And I also ask myself, how many times next week am I going to do this rest intention? Because a lot of times when we're like, "Oh, I need more rest," we have this really wonky all or nothing mindset. If I'm resting, I can't ever work. And if I'm working, I can't ever rest. It doesn't work like that. It's when you are in that all or nothing, that is a cycle of burnout. I'm either always pushing so hard that there's no space for anything else, or I absolutely can't do anything. And so in order to get out of that mindset, one of the best ways to do that is to figure out or start plugging in different opportunities for rest as you go. And it can start as small as 1 minute, 5 minutes. And even if you just do it once a week, that is a win. And then the good thing about that is you do that rest and you're like, wow, that actually was very helpful. All I did was stop for 60 seconds and do deep breath in. And then I came back around and then I went back to what I was doing. Those things add up. And so if you started with 1 week where you just do what your rest intention is one time that week, your body recognizes it. You get a dopamine hit. You're excited to do it again, and then next week maybe you add 2 times, and the week after that maybe 3 times, or and it can be maybe until you get to the point where rest is this regular habit that you're doing on a regular basis. So that's why I'm asking you, what does your body need? And sometimes your rest intention, the amount of times that you do it, you might keep more regularly, but you might want to switch it up. Maybe this week your body needs emotional rest. Maybe next week your body needs physical rest. Maybe the week after that your body needs spiritual rest. There's creative rest. There's so many different types of rest that you want to make sure you're giving your being space to lean into all of those different opportunities. Okay. So, okay, now that you've chosen your rest intention, you want to write it down somewhere. And that's where I was saying I write mine down in my planner. Now, I'm going to walk you through how to do that. But if you're like, listen, I'm not a planner girly, I'm not ready to do that. I've been burned by planners because I've never felt like I could um, stay on track, or, all of the different things that you can feel um, about scheduling things. I get it. I've had different people who've come on here and have had different feelings about, using the planner to help be intentional about rest. So, with that being said, I'm going to call a segue to help you take your first steps so it feels more approachable for you to schedule more rest in front of your calendar. So, whatever your rest intention is, I want you to write it on a post-it. Okay. So, I wrote this particular rest intention when I was still in Long Beach and I was in walking distance. So, my rest intention says to walk on the beach for 3 times this week. And so I chose what my rest intention was or is to walk on the beach. And then I chose how many times this week that I wanted to do it, and that's 3 times. And then I put 3 little check boxes on there because those are as I complete this rest intention for the 3 times this week, I'm going to check it off. Just like I would check things off on my to do list, we're adding that same level of priority to rest. That is super important here. We're not putting rest on the back burner. It has just as much priority as everything else. So now that you have these 3 check boxes, I want you to be able to take this post it, okay? This post it, you're going to put it somewhere that you're going to see it on a regular basis. Whether that's um, your front door, so that when you come in and out, it reminds you to do your rest intention. Your refrigerator door, because you know you're going in there to get food. So that's a good reminder place for you to put it. Another place could be on your bathroom mirror. And as you complete this rest intention, I want you to go and check it off. And this is how you're helping to set yourself up to be more intentional about the rest that you're doing, about the rest that you're committing to. Again, rest is an intentional activity. It doesn't happen by accident. It does not happen by accident. If you're like, oh, I'll just wait till I'm tired and I rest. I can tell you it's the same thing about like being dehydrated. If you wait until you're thirsty, you are already dehydrated. The same thing with rest. If you wait until you are tired, you are already spiraling towards burnout. And I want you to be more proactive about that. And the way you do that is to plan as much rest as you do your work, to put as much intentionality about it. So if you're doing the post-it mode, the way to do it, that's how you get yourself set up for it, and you're gonna have some time to do that. If you don't have the post-its and you're running around the house looking for the post-its right now, don't worry, you'll have a second. We're gonna have 25 minutes to do our planning for the week, so you'll have some time to finish setting that up. But if you are the girly who's ready, who's advanced, who's ready to say, I am going to take it to the next level of prioritizing rest and fun, then I want this is what you're going to do. You're going to write down your rest intention somewhere in your planner. You're going to decide how many times you want to do that rest intention. So, like for me, last week my rest intention was stretching, and I'm actually, in addition to being present with what I need, that was what my body talked to me about. I'm gonna redo that rest intention about stretching for next week. So I have stretch 2 times for next week. So I wrote that down, and now in this next section, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put on some music, and it's gonna be a co-working time for you to block off time for 2 opportunities for you to do that rest intention. Block it off in your calendar. You block off time for your meetings, for your kids' activities, for your church activities. I want you to block this off for you. Block this rest time off for you. Everything else, guess what? You get all of those things done. You've got great practice at doing that. I'm not worried about that. Honestly, I'm going to say, I don't even care if you put that on your calendar because that's so deeply ingrained in you. You know that you're going to do that. But your rest intention, that's not as deeply ingrained with you. So that's why we're going this far as to choose what it is, decide how long you're going to do it, and actually schedule it in your calendar. Okay? It's super important. And it's one of the 9 steps of helping you get out of burnout and getting into your soft life. Okay? It's super, super important. And so we're going to take some time for you to set this up, whether you're doing the post-it method, or whether you're scheduling it directly in your calendar. I'm going to put on some music. You're going to have 25 minutes to go ahead and set up your schedule in your calendar. Okay, let me go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to do this. Screen, co-working music, share, play. All right. So while the music is playing, you'll have about 25. The timer is up here. When that timer is done, we're going to come back together to give out stickers. I just realized I forgot to give them out beforehand. And then we're going to wind down for the weekend. Make sure you're taking the time to schedule rest in front of your calendar right now. All right. See you when the timer's done. All right, you guys, you should be finishing up on your scheduling for this week. Oop,
Every time I have a
sorry, I forget
bottleneck,
how to
I build a new
turn
AI
that
application to crush it. I used to say I had one AI
off.
application.
I always forget to turn that off. Forgive me. Okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, you should be finishing up your um, planning for the week where you were setting up either your post-it to put your rest intention on your refrigerator, your front door, your bathroom, um, wherever it is that it's going to be in front of you and remind you to do your rest intention for this week. And if you are using the planner method, then you want to go ahead and make sure however many um, times that you talk with your body about how many times to set up rest, that you block that off, like use time blocking to set that up in your schedule. And then when that time comes, make sure that you actually do it. Like, don't be cheating your body out of the time that you promised that it was going to rest. Okay. So make sure you take some time. I hope that you use this time to do that. The reason we do it right now, so you don't have to remember to do it later. You don't have to like if we have to come back to it later. A lot of times we don't get it done. So I love being able to come together and do it right here, right now, just like you would do a gym class, because then you're more likely to come because you know there's other people here. So making sure you take some time to do that. Okay, so the other thing that I forgot to do before we took some time to schedule our rest intention is that I want to give out some stickers. Yes, STICKA. So the way that this works is that if you prioritize rest and fun at all from this last week, I want to give you a sticker, just like we did in kindergarten, when you had good behavior, you got a sticker that made you proud. You wanted to like poke out your chest and be like, yes, I got a sticker. It's the same thing here for prioritizing rest and fun. I want you to be proud. I want you to feel encouraged that you prioritized it. And so I want to give you a sticker. So if you have, now here's the thing, you don't have to be here live in order to get your sticker. I come to the comments of this video and just put hashtag sticker in the comments, and I will come back and add you to our check-in. So let me show you what that looks like, in case you're new, in case you've never seen that before. So I have this set up. It's a spreadsheet. Every quarter, what I do is I do a giveaway. This is a new quarter that we just started. So we are on August 15th. If you have prioritized rest and fun for this week, I'm going to put a sticker right here in the spreadsheet for you. And for every week that you do that, you get another entry into the giveaway at the end of the quarter. And I do different things like um, massages or gift cards to go to your favorite place. And I base it based on where you are because some of my community is not here in the States. But yes. So if you have prioritized rest and fun at all this week, go ahead and put hashtag sticker in the chat if you're live. And if you are in the comments, go ahead and put that there. Yes, I see some stickers. So make sure that you take some time to do that. I love being able to give out stickers and reassuring you. And I love giving myself a sticker too. So make sure that you take some time to do that. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and start winding down for the weekend. There's three different activities that I have us do for our wind down time. Okay. Step number one, I want you to look at your um, I want you to look at your computer. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Look at your devices, whether it's your iPad, your phone, your tablet, your phone, your laptop, and see how many windows do you have open and how many windows can you close. Let me tell y'all, this is so important because it's all of these windows that you have open, just like when you close them, it's like freed up 549 gigabytes of megabytes of space. It's the same thing in your mind. When you have all of those things running in the background, you're not giving your mind enough space and freedom to really focus and be present in that moment. And so this is a bit of what I talked about earlier, that emotional decluttering. We get to do this emotional decluttering together every single week, and it helps get you back to I am winding down for the weekend. All of that work that I've had running in the background, I'm closing it or I'm bookmarking it, and I could come back to it next week, but I don't have to keep it running in the background today. So if that is you, go ahead, take a look at your devices right now. I'm looking at my iPad and I have three windows open. I'm doing good. I'm closing two of those windows and I am keeping one open. This is not about perfection. You don't have to close every window today. Even if you just close one window, that's amazing. Like it's a great start. And then next week you might find two windows that you want to close or and let it grow. Again, I want this anything that you go cold turkey on, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna maintain it. You'll maintain it for a little while, but it's not gonna make a lifestyle change. So it's okay if you evolve into this. Okay. All right. So then I just looked at my iPad for how many windows I need to close. Let me look at my computer. Okay, so this whole thing is about to close. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine different windows. All of those are about to close. Okay, there's that. And then the next, let me see. These are gonna close. Yep, I'm closing. That's okay. I think I'm at like four windows that I've closed so far. This one's gonna close too. That's five. I really didn't have that many open on my laptop this week. I'm feeling good. That's amazing. So I really only had like four windows open this week. Listen, I usually have like 15. So I guess this week I've been doing really good at closing windows as I go. And that's good. I've been freeing up a lot of space in my mind. And I invite you to do the same. So When I get off, you guys know I use my iPhone as my webcam, so I can't check my phone at the moment, but I will be checking my phone too. Now, the last time I checked this morning, I think I had 12 windows open, so I have a couple more windows I could probably close on there. So yes, all of this frees up more mind space for us to be present in what our life that we're trying to live now. A soft life is not just about luxury, it's about being able to be present in your life right now without letting scarcity around your time, money, and energy keep you from being present. You don't want anything to make you feel like you have to work harder. And emotional decluttering is just one of the tools that we do to help you make space for that. Okay. All right. So we cleared out extra windows that we had open. The next step that we do in the wind down is to figure out what fun activity are we going to do to like really remind ourselves this is a weekend. Like do something fun, doing more than just vegging out and watching Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever streaming service that you like to watch. Okay. So, what fun activity are you going to do? I am getting to Monroe, Louisiana today. There is absolutely nothing in Monroe. So, I'm not expecting to do anything fun tonight. But I am going to be driving to Atlanta tomorrow. So I'm sure that I'm definitely gonna go see my goddaughters. I don't know if I'm gonna make it this actual weekend, but I am gonna go see them. My other set of goddaughters. I have multiple sets. I'm god mommy to a lot of god babies, and I love every bit of it. And all of them are girls, come to think of it, but I love it. So I know that's where I'm going to be spending some of my time. And then, so that's step number two in our steps to wind down for the weekend. Step number three for winding down for the weekend is to look at what's a fun meal that you can do that's like, ooh, I don't get to do this during the week. Yes, this is a really good rest meal. Maybe it's taking yourself out to dinner because you've been, sticking to the budget during the week. And I'm not saying blow your budget. I'm saying you should be putting this in your budget at least one day that you can go out to eat, without breaking your bank. Um, so maybe it's going out to eat, or maybe you bought the stuff to make the ingredients to make this meal that you want to make, but the week has been so busy that you haven't had the time or really felt like you really wanted to make time to make that fun meal. Well, now is the time to do it. Maybe you do it tonight. Maybe you do it tomorrow afternoon, and then you get a little bit of wine and popcorn and enjoy it afterwards. Um, that's what I want you to think about now. What is your fun meal that you're gonna do? How are you gonna do it? And you're gonna set yourself up to do that for this weekend. So those are the three different wind down activities that we do every week to help us wind down for the weekend. Listen, your week is over. If um, Friday is not your last day before the weekend, then I want you to come back and watch this video on the day before your weekend. Maybe you're off Sunday and Monday. Then I want you to watch this video on Saturday and do these steps. Whatever it is, the whole point is for you to be able to wind down and shut yourself off from the weekend and really move into rest mode for the weekend, okay? All right. So, with that being said, I have so many great resources that I want you to take advantage of. But the one I want to share with you today is um, in the midst of your journey, trying to figure out how to get out of burnout and finally get to this place where you can be present in life. And not everybody is going to quit their job. Like, again, let's get out of that all or nothing mindset. Um, there is so much space for you to find joy and to find a life that you love without like just burning everything down. I get it. Sometimes it feels like you've been trying everything and there seems to be no other way but to burn it all down. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm your lifestyle coach. Because for one, I've lived that experience as a corporate professional. I've also lived it as an entrepreneur. There are so many ways that you can make this life feel more where you could take the pressure off of being on all the time, where you don't have to be um, grinding 24/7. And through our working together, we'll be able to take action steps to help you make that transition. But the first step for you to do that is to take this assessment. It's completely free, super quick. It's 9 questions. It takes about 2 minutes, and it's going to help you really look at what are the things that are burning you out. Like, where are you on a scale of red, yellow, green? And from that, I create a personalized report that I send to you so you can start saying, okay, this is what I want to prioritize. Okay, now this gives me clarity of where I'm missing the things I need to get the rest that I want. And then you can start prioritizing. This is the first thing that I want to work on. How do I start taking steps towards that? Listen, you can't do it all at once. I know you want to, but that's the reason you're burnt out. Like, this is an evolution, and this assessment is going to help you take the first steps to start figuring that out. So I would love for you to take a second to take this soft life assessment. This is what it looks like here on your screen. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description for you, or the link is already in the description. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat for you to be able to take that assessment as well. It's super helpful, and it's the first step for us to figure out what it looks like for us to help you get out of this. Burnout does not have to be your life. It doesn't have to be the default. It's not. You don't have to just. You don't have to say, I'm going to just have to be stuck in burnout until I retire. No, 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 no. None of those things are true. Absolutely not. And this is the first step to help you get out of that and get into a different situation. So, with that being said, you guys, I always enjoy you. I love getting together with you here every Friday to do our Freedom Friday activities where we celebrate our wins from the week. We choose our rest intention. We wind down for the weekend. And so, um, take a second on the comments and say hello if you're catching me on the replay. And if you're joining me live, I would love for you to join me next week right here at the same time, noon Eastern Standard Time. Today, I stream to a couple different places, so you can join us on YouTube, you can join on LinkedIn or Facebook. And come ready to have good conversation and also wind down for the weekend. Get ready to enjoy yourself. Right? Let's do that. Let's make that a priority. And coming to do it together, make sure that it reminds us to actually do it, like prioritize doing these things. All right, you guys, I enjoy you. I'm about to get back on the road. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week, next Friday. Bye.